Hi, welcome to GMST Solutions Private Limited Digital Learning. Today we are going to implement a simple MVC project using Servlets+JSP and MySQL database. So what are the requirements for the simple MVC project using end-to-end implementation? End-to-end in the sense front end, the business layer and database. So for this application requirements, what are the softwares we need? The required softwares First we need JDK software 8 or 11, and we need MySQL database. Next we need Tomcat server, and we need Eclipse IDE. So JDK, MySQL, Tomcat, and Eclipse IDE. This four softwares required for the simple application development. So JDK, how to install, I hope everyone knows, and MySQL installation steps I will give in the description. So Tomcat, how to configure in our Eclipse IDE, I will give the while creating the project, and how to start the simple dynamic web project in Eclipse IDE. How to create simple dynamic web project using Eclipse IDE. So if you want to create the dynamic web projects or enterprise applications, Eclipse IDE, you need to download Java Enterprise Edition. So Java EE module we need to download. Java EE version you have to download the Eclipse IDE. Download the only core Java developer. So unable to create enterprise applications, we have to download again the Java EE module to take time. So while downloading the application itself, download Java Enterprise Edition Eclipse IDE. So these are the minimum requirement: JDK 8 or 11, MySQL database, Tomcat for the server. So it is server. So MySQL is database. So Java technology guys knows programming language. Eclipse is the editor. So IDE. Okay. Now, so here what we are going to implement actually. Keep it. So we are going to implement a three-tier application. Three-tier application. So what is a three-tier application? So we have the client, server, and database. Client, server, and database. Okay. The client we can say like any browser, HTML, CSS, or JSP. We will use the client implementation. So technology stack is HTML, CSS, or JSP. Okay. Simple I'm taking here. So the client application HTML, CSS, or JSP. The client. Server side we will use the Java code. Server side Java code. That is servlets here. But we can use servlets, Java and servlets. Programming language comes under server side. And database, any database, MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, MongoDB, anything you can use here. Okay. So whenever we get the request from the client application, it will come to your server application. The server validates your request and process into the database if it is there. If it is not there, from there only we can return the data. Then again, the given credentials are available Okay, available. We will fetch into the your server side and validate there and compare the front end data and back end data. Then we'll give the access to the web application, either authorization, authentication. These things we can do. Today we are going to implement simple registration operation and authentication operation, just login operation. So how we can do it? So coding wise, we'll implement the request comes to here and giving back to the response the valid data and displaying the information in your browser. So here the client is the tier 1 application. The tier 1, what we can call client is tier 1, and the server is tier 2. Server is tier 2 and database is tier 3. It is 3-tier application, and we can call the MVC application model view controller. So the model view controller structure I am giving here. So how the same 3-tier application working for the model views. So here view v is the views. So what we can use for the view pages: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or JSP. The same thing will go for this controller here. C is nothing but controller, and M is nothing but model. M is nothing but model. Okay. Poser classes, Java code, what we can call here. Here controller is nothing but servlet. Controller comes under servlets. Model comes under Java part. So plain old Java objects. Here also same request response. The request is coming from the view page to, that is the client application, to your controller. So from here to your, if you have the database connection or DO operations, it will go there. Then again giving the response back to the model to your controller. From here to again to browser or client, the view page. Okay, done. So here also we have the request. The response back to the controller, from controller to your view pages. MVC is nothing but model view controller architecture design pattern. So here we have the simple views. The model is nothing but Java code, and view is nothing but HTML, CSS, or JSP, JavaScript, Angular, React. This is coming under the front end technology, view technologies. And controller here, so in our application, controller is a servlet. If you go for the Spring framework and other location, there is a separate controller layer also. Here is servlets we can use for the controlling operation. All the HTTP request, HTTP methods handling inside the servlets. So this is a simple MVC project using servlets plus JS plus MySQL database. So what is the 3-tier application and how the MVC architecture working, the implementation wise, where we can implement the views, where we can implement the controller, where we can implement the Java code. So what is the views comes under the any front end technology. Controller is nothing but server side coding. So we have the controller here, servlets we can use. So model is nothing but DA or data access objects or model data. So different. So where we are configuring to our data, model data. So POSOs. The required software, what the required software we need. Now, what are the steps we need to follow to create the simple MVC project using Servlets JSP MySQL database? The steps to create project in Eclipse IDE. Okay. So this is a simple theory for understanding the data application and model view controller architecture and required softwares. Then next, we'll go for the simple step-by-step implementation of Eclipse IDE project. So I have given the points here for reference purpose. So steps to create MVC project using servlets and JSP with MySQL database. So step one, what you have to do. So we need the view pages first browser. So the model view controller, the views we have to create first. Then we will create the matching properties inside the model data, that is poser classes or data class. Then for database connection, we need the one database connection class. Here we can follow the JDBC steps, 5 steps we will follow. And register servlet and login servlet. So this much we are going to implement. Register servlet and login servlet. Okay, so next. So open your Eclipse IDE and start creating the simple HTML code using the JSPs. So we need the 3 pages: home page, register page, and login page. So from here we can navigate to the your pages from home page to register, register to login. So login to register, like that. Okay, simple. So open your Eclipse IDE. Eclipse IDE. So here I have the number of projects, but I'm creating the for naming convention. So go for the file new dynamic web project. If it is not displaying here, so here you have the open perspective. Open perspective here. Just see the my cursor. Open perspective. So the open perspective here Java EE default. If it is in the Java perspective, you won't get the dynamic web project directly. You can see just file new, there is no dynamic web project directly. But if you go for the others, and you can create it. If you go for other, and you can create the dynamic project. If it is enterprise edition Eclipse IDE, if it is not enterprise edition Eclipse IDE, you won't get the dynamic web project process. Next, so here you have to change to perspective to the your Java EE perspective, and go for the simple file after selecting the perspective to the Java EE file new. You can see the dynamic web project. We are getting the just simple dynamic web project. Even we can create the Maven project with the web project also. Maven with web project. So we can create. For learning purpose, I am giving the simple dynamic web project. So, dynamic web project. Even Maven and dynamic web project, the process of implementing and getting the output is same only. But there is a Maven file. Here is a simple jar file we need to use. That's it. So here I am using the simple servlets plus JSP plus MySQL. Servlets JSP MySQL project name. And I have the Tomcat here by default already configured to the my machine in Eclipse IDE. If you don't have the Tomcat here, you will get the none. But how to configure the Tomcat to our project, I will give the simple steps. So for your reference, I'm taking the here Tomcat is none, because first time we are implementing the servlets and JSP or any project using the enterprise edition. So if you don't have the Tomcat, how to configure the Tomcat to a project, I will give you the step by step. Then go for a next. So by default src main Java, here we can write the Java code. And if you have any configuration about our project, okay, so the plus is giving the error, just remove the plus. I'm taking the hyphen in place of plus. Just, or you can take without hyphens and without special characters, but because it is servlets JSP MySQL, you can take it now. Next. So here, if you want to configure any XML file data, the XML file is a deployment descriptor. Whenever we give the request to our application, the view page first will trigger the XML file URL link if you configure. If not, we have the annotation configuration. Two ways we can configure. One is annotation configuration, one is XML based configuration. So XML based configuration is the web XML file we will use for the deployment descriptor. If you are not using the XML file configuration, we have the annotations. I will show that both. Okay. Just click on finish. Okay. So our project name is Servlets+JSP MySQL. Servlets+JSP MySQL. We can give the iPhone also, but plus it is not taking. Okay. Done. If you see the project hierarchy, so the main project name what we given, that is a root folder. Inside the root folder we have the src main Java is a main folder to write the Java code, servlets and Java Pojo classes, everything we can create inside the src main Java. First, what we have mentioned the step one in our document, create JSP files. So where we will create the JSP files in our dynamic web project. So here you can see the src main. Inside that you can see the web app. Inside the web app we can create our view pages, either HTML, CSS, or if you want to create any JSPs. So here I'm taking the JSP page, web app, just take the web app. Okay. So new JSP file, new JSP file. So first I'm creating the home.jsp. Inside the home.jsp, I will create the simple navigation steps. Okay. So here you will get the error, you can see that because the Tomcat is not configured to our project. If we configure the Tomcat, so it won't give any error for the JSP page, because JSP page is internally is a Java page, means extension for servlets. It is not different completely than your servlets. It is same like servlets only, but it is extension. So the JSP will provide the few advanced tags. So there is limited tags in our object creation, everything in the servlets. So compared to servlets, it is extension and advanced objects are there in our JSPs, implicit objects and custom tags. So these things we can implement here, and very fast implementation compared to the servlets. But the page is again internally converting to .jsp to .java to .class. So for small applications, we can use only JSP, either controller and the view both. If it is large application, controller is servlet and views are the JSP we can use actually. Okay. So if you want to avoid these errors in our pages or servlets or in the JSP, so what we have to do, we need to configure the Tomcat. Even if you want to see the Tomcat errors for your servlet, so we need the register servlet and login servlet. Just I'm creating the simple servlet for understanding, so for why it is giving the errors. So servlet technology compiles on containers. If it is web server or application server, so any server we need the at least one container. So here we told Tomcat server, right? So if you are not configuring the Tomcat, unable to execute your project also. Even see src main Java, I'm creating the one servlet just for the understanding purpose to configure the Tomcat. So I'm taking the package name is com.test. Servlet name is register, just for understanding. Okay. So if we create the servlet, it will give the compile time error because there is no containers. So step by step we will implement. So create JSP files first, then Poser class, then database, then servlet. So finally we will configure the Tomcat also. Okay, just go for the JSP file, complete the code. So home page. So I hope everyone knows the HTML tags. Here I'm taking the home page. That page, if you want to display in the home page in the center, you can take it. So align equal to center. The coordinate will display in the browser center. And here I'm taking the simple paragraph. The paragraph contains URL links, that is anchor tags. So sign up and space with sign in. Okay. So the NBSP is just spacing purpose. Another anchor tag we need the sign in. Here we given the just link. If you click on the sign up, we need the register.html file. If you click on the sign in, we need the login.jsp page. So register.jsp page, href. Here you have to mention the JSP page, register.jsp or reg.jsp, anything you can take it. So as you wish. Full name or short name. So inside the sign in link, we need login.jsp. So two pages we need, login.jsp, register.jsp. So this paragraph, I'm giving the alignment to the your right side. So align right side. Just I'm taking the simple separation tag, that is a horizontal line, simple horizontal line. Okay, just horizontal line I'm taking. Save it. Now we need the register.jsp, login.jsp. So just create the register.jsp first. Register.jsp. So in web app, new JSP file. So here just I'm taking the one heading, sign up page. Okay. So here we can take input fields. We need the first name, username, password. That's enough. Okay, first name, username, password, or full name, username, password. Three fields is enough. Just communicating to the our concepts. So enter full name. So input type equal to text. Name equal to f name. Very simple. And one username. So input type equal to text. Name equal to user. Enter password. So input type equal to password type. Name equal to pw. And we need one submit button. Input type equal to submit. So value equal to login. Done. If you want to keep all the data in center, okay. So I'm taking the center button here. The center tag. So all the content in our web page is in center. And if you don't have the account, if you have already account created. So here I'm taking the anchor tag. Already have account. Sign in here. Just sign in here if you want to go for the just. Okay, sign in here. If you have already account, click here to sign in. Href equal to login.jsp. Okay, done. And we need the another page, login.jsp. So login.jsp. Okay, just. So here I'm taking the simple center tag. So one header tag, sign in page. So here I'm taking, just we need the for sign in page, enter username and password. Input type equal to text, name equal to user. Enter password. So input type equal to password, name equal to pw. So here on submit button, value equal to sign in. If you don't have the account already, if you have the account, you can sign in. If you don't have the account, we have to go for the register operation. I will sign up. Anchor tag, don't have account, click here. Okay. Href equal to register.jsp. Register page, here you can see the, sorry, the value is sign up. Here, sign in. So we have the home page, register page, and login.jsp. So for this properties, you can say the enter full name, username, password, these things. If you want to store into the database, okay, if you want to store into the database, we need the one poso class, the same property fields that poso class object will save into the database. Or directly also we can save into the database also, no issue. But we're going for MVC architecture, model view controller. So we have to implement views we implemented, and we need the controller and model. So next step, what we have to do, create model or poso class. So what are the fields we have in the sign up page? Full name, username, password. Take it simple. Okay. So where we need to create the Java code, src main Java, we need to create the code. Okay. So new class. So class name is, you can take any name, username, user class, or employee class, or product class, anything you can take it. Com.test. So here I'm taking the three properties: private string, full name of user, okay, full name of user, and username, password. Just if you want to create the setters and getters, so right click here, just right click in your code, search for the source, right click in your class. Okay, just search for the source, generate getters and setters, generate getters and setters. Why we need to assign the value for your properties from front end to servlet or poso class. You will get it actually. Okay, I will explain the flow also how it will work. We have the poso class, model class. Next step, we need database connection class. What are the database connection steps we have? If you are already implemented JDBC, there is a steps to connect Java application to database. If you don't know, please watch the previous video. I have created JDBC with Java, MySQL. So you will get clarity on how to connect to the database. So just create the connection and load the driver class, these all things, and we'll execute the queries. Okay. So we need the database class. So create here only the Java code, new simple Java class db con. The connection, database connection shortcut I'm taking. So here we need the simple method public static connection object is the return statement. to import this .SQL. Get con is it will provide the connection object. So here we need to create your database connection steps. So we need the connection object for your method. I'm taking here in the connection con equal to null. Using the try catch finally block or try catch block, exception, handle the exception, without print stack trace. It will provide the exception class name and the message line number. So step 1, what we have to do, load the driver class. Class dot for name is the load the driver class. So com dot mysql dot jdbc dot driver. So these things already I have given previous video. Check once again. The connection object, already we have the connection object here null. So take the same connection only. Connection object equal to driver manager dot get connection. So here you have to provide your URL link, username and password. So what is the URL link for your MySQL database? For everyone it is common to everyone, jdbc colon mysql colon localhost. The port number is 3306. So if you want to check the port number for your database where you given, so I have the MySQL workbench here. You can see localhost 3306 is the listening port number. So I'm using the same port number. Next you have to give the database name also. Database name also you have to give it. So I'm taking the simple database name here. So just click on test. Okay. So already I have the database name is WebNR. Okay. WebNR. We have the create database. Already I have the database name is WebNR. How to create the database? How to use the database? Okay. So WebNR. Just provide the WebNR. So database name. This is URL link is common for everyone. And you have to create your own database in MySQL database. Okay. And give the database name here. Next, for this connection establishment, we need the username password. Username by default is the root. Password, the installation time, what is the password you have given? The same password. I have given the password only for installation time. I am using the same username and password. Okay, done. And we have to return the same connection object to your method. So it is a try catch. Okay, so return to your method the connection object. Then statement object will create in our application. So this is a simple database connection class. Load the driver class and URL link. So done. Next step we have to create register servlet and login servlet. Just go for the register servlet and login servlet. The same src main Java folder only in the same package I'm taking servlet. So servlet name is register. So next, if you want to change the URL link as per your requirement, you can change it. Double click on here, you can change as per the requirement. Okay, I'm taking the default URL link only. And here we have the multiple methods, inbuilt methods. I'm using the for do get method initially, then we'll change to the do post also. So do get carries the data in the URL link. If you want to hide the data, we will go for the do post. So there is a limited for the do get method, and here more than the do get method, we can carry the data from the front end to back end in encrypted format using the do post. It will encrypt the data in the method body, not in the URL link. It will encrypted format. We will send the data to the our backend code. It is more than 2 MB also we can send, but here the URL link length is so reached, so more than that link we cannot accept it. So means there is a limited data for the do get. Okay, and secure for the do post, and it is visibility data in the URL link. So we'll see how to change to the do get to do post also. Just finish. So here you can see we are implementing the servlet concept using annotation configuration. If you go for XML configuration, this URL link is not required. So we are implementing the annotation configuration. So here you are getting the error for the compilation. We need the Tomcat. So even JSP page also you can check it. All the JSP page we have the errors. Now if you want to avoid these errors, what we have to do, just minimize the editor, the location. If you are in the advanced Java perspective, Java EE perspective, so here you can see the servers tab. Inside the servers, I have the Tomcat already configured. For your reference, I am removing the Tomcat here. Okay, so delete. And by default, you can see no servers are available. Click this link to create a new server. So if you want to add the server here, just click on link and select the Apache. I'm using the 9. So select the 9. It will show the default configuration. So I'm removing for the configuring server also. Okay. Now you can say the Tomcat 9 and just click on next. So in my system, I have the desktop and Java Lab folder. If you use the Windows machine, there is a C program, there is a C drive. Inside that program files, inside the program files, you can find the Apache Software Foundation. When after installation done successfully in your machine. So Tomcat, where to download and how to install, I will give the step also. If you don't know where to download, here is the option. So download and install the Tomcat and configure to your machine. So just click on download, it will download and give the same folder path to the here. And next you can add the any project to the your applications here. Here is just finish. Now your question is where to download the Tomcat server. So if you after adding the Tomcat, just right click on your Tomcat server, just click on start, right click and start the server. If it is started, there is no issues, you can configure to the your project. So it is started synchronized. So for this step, before we need to download the Tomcat server, just you can see the Tomcat 9 download, Tomcat 9 download. The first URL link is Apache Tomcat. Open the upsell website. So here you can see the so 10 no 98 also is there. So Tomcat 9. If you little bit downside scroll up, okay, here you can see the for Windows machine installer. Just click on installer. It will download the Tomcat application, the software. No need to change anything. Just double click on the Tomcat application exe file. Next. So before installing the Tomcat, we need the JDK. So if you have the JDK, then it will install automatically. If you don't have, you need to install the JDK also. And if you are using the other than the Windows system, you can go for the Linux star.dz. If you are using the Mac, you can go for the zip file and extract it and you can utilize. I show on this. So this is the installation steps, or you can directly from the Eclipse also we can download and install. So here only I have given it. So while configuring time, you can download and install and give the path. Now after adding the Tomcat server to your workspace to your Eclipse IDE, we need to configure the Tomcat to your project. So it is Servlets+JSP MySQL is our project name. Go for the build path, configure build path. Just click on class path. It will enable the options here on the right side. Add library. Just click on add library. Server runtime. And here you can see the Apache Tomcat 9.0. Just finish, apply and close. So just you can observe there is no errors. All the errors gone. Okay. Even you can check in your JSPs also. Just update the project, refresh it. Okay. So just open the JSP pages here already open. So you can see the JSP. No error. Just save it. So no errors you can see. Done. So no errors in our project. You can see. So we have created the simple register.java. So from register.java to your register.jsp page, if you want to communicate, so we have the URL link. Register is the URL link. So inside the register.jsp, take form action. So here I'm taking the form action. Here also you can take it now. Okay. So form action. So register. So same URL link only you have to take. Otherwise you will get the 404 error. REGST register. Okay. Done. You have to close the form tag. You have to close the form tag before body tag. Or so inside the center tag we have taken. So take the before center tag. Okay. Done. So what are the properties we have? F name, user, password. Okay. And here we have to read the data and printing into the browser. Response time is HTML format. Set content type equal to text HTML. In browser if you want to print. Okay. And if you need any data to print in the browser, you can take print writer. Otherwise directly you can go for the reading the property from the front end. Print write is nothing but printing in the browser. So if you want you can take it. Otherwise directly we can display the pages also in place of print writer out equal to response.get writer. So we can take it. If you want to print in the browser, or if you want to print in the console, SOP only. Okay. So now in place of taking the simple messages, I will take the dispatches request dispatches servlet. Using that we can display the U pages also, views also we can display. Okay. Anyway I'm using the print writer. Now so what are the properties? The property name, F name, user, password, same characters only we need to call inside the servlet. String name equal to I'm taking request dot HTTP servlet request. Using that get parameter. So here F name, same property name. The for username and password also. Request dot get parameter of user or password also. Request dot get parameter of PWD. With the help of the HTTP servlet request, we will read the data, and with the help of the response, we will give the response update back to your browser. So where we are taking the data and where we are displaying the data browsers. Okay. So HTTP request and response is processing the request and the response with the help of containers, servlet container. Now, so the name, username, password we have to store into the database. So where we have the database here. So inside the database, I'm checking the table name user is there or not. Select star from user. This, or you can take any user like product user. You can take product user, P user, anything. Just I'm checking this table name. Okay, product user, company user, GMST user, just test user. I'm using the servlet user. Servlet user. I'm taking just servlet user. So there is no table actually. So create the simple table. Table name is S user I'm taking. So that is any product name you can take it. Servlet user, a product user shortcut I'm taking. So create table, create table. Table name is S user. We need the columns and ID auto increment also. I'm taking the ID auto increment if you want to take the multiple users. So ID in integer format auto increment or primary key also you can take it. ID int auto increment. primary key, auto increment, sorry, primary key, sorry, we have the inbuilt keyword auto increment. It is, so it is not coming. Auto increment. So it is one column. So once we type the keyword, it will come automatically. You can see. So I'm taking another full name. Okay, so another column. Just if you type, you will get the automatically that schema varchar. So like this, we will get it. So I'm searching for that only auto increment and primary key. Varchar, how many characters you need for the name? Next, we have the username. So varchar 50 characters, 50 characters, and password. Password is inbuilt keyword. If you want to change to the your own, I'm taking just s password. S password. Okay. Just username. You can take the user colon name also. Full name, full colon name also. You can take it. It's just for naming convention. So varchar 50 characters. You can take any number of characters or size also. Done. ID is int. Primary key is nothing but there is no null values and duplicates. Primary key is nothing but combination of not null and unique. Auto increment is nothing but for incrementing the ID automatically. Okay. So 1, 2, 3 for sequence format. So just create the table. Just create the table. So table is created, and you can see the now the table structure: ID, full name, username, password. So just we need to add the information to our database. So already we have the connection db connection class. Using this, we will execute the query. Okay. dbcon dot get connection. It will give the connection object. So I'm taking the connection here. SQL connection con equal to. Next, we need to add the data to your database. So how to write the query? String SQL equal to insert into S user. Your table name is S user. What are the columns we have? We have the 3 columns actually, but here we took the 4 columns. Full name, username, password. We are sending the data. ID is auto increment. So what are the columns we have? Full name. Same columns I am selecting here. Username. Yes, password. These are the columns and the values. How many columns we have here? So 3 columns we are selecting. 3 columns and giving the question mark here. Prepare statement. 3 columns. And we need to execute the query. We need to create the statement object using the prepared statement I'm using. Prepared statement. So I have given the clearly prepared statement. Okay. Checked how to create and what is the statement. These things the previous video. Please go through the previous video for the better understanding JDBC. And con dot prepared statement. So here I'm passing the SQL query. So we have to handle exceptions here actually. The connection and prepare statement connection, we have to handle the exceptions. You can do the try catch. Okay. So here what I'm doing. So from the DB connection, I'm taking the try catch. Okay. Need to handle exceptions. We dot print stack trace. Fine. So using the prepared statement of the dot set string. So the column name is a string question mark. We have the name pst dot set string second question mark, that is user. Pst dot set string set string start question mark password username password and name full name. So we have to execute the query to your database pst dot execute. Done. So directly we can store the data to your database. Okay. Next, so after storing the data to the database, we have to set the information to your project class for while reading time. So for storing time, we not required. For reading time, we need the your project class. Now we are storing directly data to your database. Or in place of taking the directly name user password, we can set the data and we can get the data also. How to set the data here using the project class? You have the user obj equal to new user. We can set the obj dot set full name. This is another way. Set username obj dot set password, and here we can call obj dot get full name, obj dot get username, obj dot get password. So this is also same only. But why we are using the poser class means we are implementing the models. So for better understanding, we model data separately and the user data, the control data separately. So for that purpose, we are taking the model. Okay. If you go for the object wise, we can create the DO layer. Then it is also very useful to use the model classes. Okay. Done. Now for your just understanding purpose, I'm taking the out.println here, out.println. Okay, registered successfully. Just I'm giving the message. If you want to display the after registration success, you can go for the login page also. If you want to go for the login page, so you can check it. The validation like the username is not equal to null or not empty, then you can go for the login page also. So just I'm giving the message here, or if you want to display the any page if you want to display the any page, so I'm taking the simple if, because we need the username and password. If username user dot or user equal to or not equal to null, user dot equals, I'm comparing it, we can take any data. So just for understanding purpose, I'm taking hard coded data. I'm taking hard coded admin user and just admin. So then it will go for the request dispatcher. Or if not, you can take the anything, no issue here. Equals of, so I'm taking the obj dot get username or full name, anything you can take it. So here I'm taking request dispatcher rd equal to request dot get request dispatcher It is for the just displaying the page purpose and nothing. Request dot get dispatcher. Okay. Directly we can go for the send date method also we have. So here I'm giving the once it is login success, we have to go for the login.jsp or home page, which one you want to go for. So rd.forward means we will include we will forward the request and response to the corresponding page. Maybe it is wrong if it is not empty. It is there is a something empty, maybe null equals of null or not null or something. Okay, it is not null. Then we can go for the registration page. So here equals of the user and get username same or not. So same means it is giving the data and the database storing data both are same. We are going to register. If it is different, we are going for the registration failed. Please log in once again. Okay. So else block, or you can take it pst.execute. Execute method is boolean type. You can say the boolean type. Directly you can take the boolean type also. It is boolean be equal to. If it is true, we will go for the login.jsp. It is false. Again, we have to give the if it is not executed query. So it will go for registration failed. Please login once again. Okay. So we'll do that. So just I'm taking the block only. Otherwise, you can go for the registration page also. So either you can take the object or you can take the boolean type. Okay. So it is executed query. Or if you go for the execute update, we have the execute update. It is integer type actually. It is integer type. It is integer type. B not equal to 0. Not equal to 0 means if it is not executing, it is executed, it is 1. If it is not executed, 0. So it is not equal to 0 means it will go inside this, or else it will go for the else block. So different way we can do it. So here I'm giving the out.println registration failed. Registration failed. Please try again once again. Okay, registration failed. So here we can go for the include method. Forward method means it won't include the current page data. Directly it will go for the other page. Request dot get a dispatcher. Where we need to go for register.jsp if it is failed. So rd dot include registration failed, you will get message and you will get the page also. Message plus page. But here it won't include the current page message. Just save it. Just save it. And run the simple register.jsp page. Just check it is working or not. The data. Run on server. Run on server. Tomcat next. Finish it. Okay, sign up. Okay, sign up. So here I'm giving the simple anything you can give it. I'm taking the admin user full name. Full name you can take it anything. So and admin username is admin. Password you can take anything. Just click on sign up. You can see the class not found exception because we need to add the MySQL connector here. MySQL connector. So how to download and how to configure your MySQL connector. So you have to go for the again downloading from the MySQL connector 8.0.18. Here you can see the Maven repository. So this is already I have mentioned in the previous video. Download the jar file. After downloading the jar file, copy paste into your application. So I have the simple MySQL connector jar file. So I'm copying from the previous projects. copy. Inside the web app, you can say the web app. Inside the web app, you have the lib. Here you have to paste your jar file. Now you can say that inside the lib there is a jar file. Inside the lib you have the jar file. So it will update the project automatically. Okay, completed successfully. Just come back, refresh it. Any name you can take it. Okay. So any username and password. Just click on sign up. Here you can see the sign in page, successfully registered. Even if you want to verify the data in database, so just select start from table name. So you can say the auto increment of the ID one, full name, username and password. So here you can say the displaying the data in the URL link, username and password. Because we are using the do get method. If you want to secure the information, we will go for the do post. I will show it. So after successfully registration, it will go for the login.jsp. We have to implement the code for the login.jsp and login.servlet. So login servlet we need. Just closing the output. So just go for creating another servlet. We need login servlet. Login servlet, new servlet. Servlet name is login. The same steps on. Here I am taking the do post method. So how we can implement do post? One is do get, one is do post. So already Tomcat is there. There is no errors. So inside the do post method, we will implement the code. So here you can see. So request dot response dot set content type text HTML and the print writer out equal to response dot get writer. Okay, done. So here again we need to read the data from the login.jsp. So login.jsp, what are the fields we have? User and password. We need the user and password. And the connection between the your login.java servlet and your URL in the HTML page or JSP page. So here I'm taking the form action. So login is a URL link. You have to close the form tag. This connection between your JSP page to servlet. Okay. So here you can see the login URL link. String user equal to request dot get parameter of so here I'm taking user. So what is the property we have login.jsp? User and pwd. String password equal to request dot get parameter of pwd. Next, if you want to read the data from the database, we need the try. Here I'm taking the try catch exception handling print stack trace. So we need the user class object user obj equal to new user. Inside the try block, we have to connect the dbcon dot getCon method. It will give the connection object. Connection con equal to get connection. Okay, it will return the connection object. Next, we need the prepared statement. That statement we need the query also, right? String SQL equal to, we need the username password. Select username password, comma, password from table name where username and is logical and, like, okay, and password, okay. Where username equal to question mark and password equal to question mark. So this prepare statement. Select username password from the user table where username and password is matching. That username password where we are giving from the front end. So just execute the query with the help of prepare statement. So prepare statement. Okay. So con.prepare statement SQL query. Now we need to iterate over the table. First we need to iterate over the table. For that we need the result set interface. rs equal to rs equal to pst.execute query. Execute query statement is result set interface. Okay, done. Inside the result set interface we have the rs.next function to iterate over the table. Done. So inside rs.next we have to set the data to the your user object. See obj.set password, the username. Username is the first column. rs.get string of first column. obj dot okay, okay. So set password rs.get string of second question, that is a second index, second column. Now here we have the question mark 1 and we have the question mark 2. So where we are passing the data, user as a user and pass we have to set to the question mark first. pst dot set string of first question mark is username user, so directly we are reading from the front end, and pst dot set string of second question mark is password. Now what will happen, the query will be execute select username comma password from where user, okay, from user table where username question mark means what is username you are entering from the browser, and password we are passing to the question marks. Here executing the question marks. Okay, after setting, then you will get the record matching data from our database. So for better understanding, if you want to create the more records you can create it if you want to create, okay, no issue. So just we have the one record, so I'm going for the once again home page from the beginning. Okay, so then after setting the data, so we are assigning the values to the object user object, okay, user object, and reading the information from the database. Okay, then the data we are setting to the inside your if else block. If it is username, so what we are executing here, say I'm executing the username. So first you have to get the understanding way. So what we are passing from the front end, the same data it is matching or not. So you can see the home page. Sign up already we have done. Sign in. So what is the username password? We have admin and admin. If you click on sign in, so what is the username password you are entering here? It will go to the your user password. So from login.jsp user property password property we are reading. After clicking on the sign in button, it will trigger your login URL link. So inside the login.java, so here inside the do post method, reading the information user password and setting to the question mark where username password is matching, that username password is reading to the our Java class. We are assigning to the data to the your user object. With the help of the user object, obj dot get username, or you can validate it. What is username you're passing? User dot equals of obj dot get username, and the logical AND operator pass dot equals of obj dot get password. It is from the database password. If it is success, we have to dispatch the home page. So request dispatcher pages will be dispatched, and we have the response dot send redirect method. Send redirect method. Here I'm giving the home.jsp. Once it is success, it will go for the home page. If it is failed, so out.println out.println invalid credentials. Please try again for login. Okay. So here I'm taking the request dispatcher dot request dispatcher rd equal to, so request dot get request dispatcher, same login page we have to display, and rd dot include method will include the your request and response. Invalid credentials. Let's save it and refresh your browser once again. So we have the admin and admin username and password. Admin. Just click on sign in. So you can say the method not allowed because our login.java is a do post method. So by default register.java and JSP is a, there we didn't mention the any get method or post method. If you go for the register.java, that is register.servlet, do get. By default in view pages, the method equal to do get. If it is other than do get is there, we have to mention specifically. Where in the form action, method equal to post. It will carry in the method body. It will wrap and bind the data, secure data. Now, just coming back. So admin. Just click on sign in. We'll get the home page if it is login success. If it is login failed, I'm giving the wrong information here. So I'm giving the wrong information. You can just click on sign in. Invalid credentials, sign in. So if you want to print in the red color in the center, so you can create as per your requirement. So the message I'm taking here, center tag, and the font in the red color. So it is CSS code. Simple CSS code. Save. Okay, enter wrong data. So it is wrong data I'm giving. So it is secure, it won't display in here. You can see it won't display the data here. Do post method, invalid credentials, same, it will go for the login page when we are taking the invalid data. If you get the valid data, it will go for the home page, admin, main, home page. Now how it is working, the flow of execution, the flow of storing the data, the step by step. So I'm taking the home page, sign up. So here I'm entering the records, full name, last name, and username, password. So you can take any usernames. Just click on sign up. Whenever clicking on the sign up button, it will go to the your register.jsp page, setting the value what you are giving here, the Nilesh Java, and what is the password Java I'm giving. Coming to the property name, f name, username, password. Just clicking on the submit button, it will trigger your register.java. It will go inside the register.java, reading the information with the help of the request HTTP select request object dot get parameter of username, that is a full name, username, password, and setting to the your poso class where we have the poso class. So set method, setting the properties. After setting the properties, if you want to read the values, we have the get method. So using the get method, get full name, username, password, where each and every question mark we are setting the data. How many question marks? We have 3 question marks. First question mark is full name, username, password. So one by one we are setting the data. Once we are adding the data to the your SQL query with the help of the prepare statement, we are executing the method. If it is executed, you will get the integer value positive 1. If it is not, you will get the 0 or minus. Okay. If it is successfully registered, it will go for the login.jsp. Okay. Storing into the database information also. You can see here is a one record. Now we are adding the one more record here. Just click on sign up. So after adding the data to the database, it is returning to the login.jsp. Okay. Login.jsp. So here you can see the one more record. So Nilesh Java and Java. Okay. So auto increment of the ID. Next it will go for the automatically to your sign in page. I'm taking the Java and Java. If it is success, it will go for the home page. If it is again, I'm going for the sign in page, wrong information, something I'm taking. So you can see the invalid credentials. So here also the same login page also, whenever we are submitting the data to the coming your login.jsp user and password, we will submitting the data with login URL link. It is method is a post method. It won't display the data in the URL link, but do get method display in the URL link. Coming to the your login.java. So here we are reading the information of user and password and passing to the your SQL query, username and password. If it is matching, it will check your database and extract the data from the database with the help of the result set interface and iterating over the each and every row. Okay, setting to the your user object, database records. The front end records, the user and password contains the front end record, and the database records contains the object. We are checking the front end data with our database records. If it is matching, home page. If it is not matching, it will go for the else block, same login page. Please enter the username and password once again. So it is simple Servlets+JSP and MySQL database. MVC architecture, the model view data, we have the model class. Okay. So model is user class, database connection, view pages inside the web app, home, login.jsp, register.jsp. Now to dispatch the pages. Okay, how to communicate with database from the front end to back end to front end, how we are evaluating the data. And CSS, even if you want to implement the CSS code for the simple CSS, how we can implement if you want to change the background color, these all things. So we can write inside the header tag simple. I'm giving the for understanding purpose CSS tag. Style I'm taking. Inside the style, if you want to change the background color, so I'm taking the body. So background color I'm taking here. Any color I can take it. Sea blue, sea green, silver. Okay, any color I can take it. Sea blue. background color, and the font color if you want to take the font color or font style or anything. Okay, so if you have any font, so I'm taking the font color also by default is a white, so the font color is a white, equal to white, white. It is in register.jsp. The same code if you want to implement in your login.jsp, home.jsp, the same code only we can write it. So instead of taking the all the pages, if you have the one simple CSS file, will link into the your view pages. You will link into the view pages. Now you can just refresh it. So white color. So background is a white color. Okay. Sea blue. So the background color is not affecting. Just change it. Home.jsp, light blue. Now you can refresh it. So it is affecting. Same for the all the pages. Refresh it. And sign in page. Okay. Register page, all the pages. CSS code. And even if you want to go for the scripting, or if you want to apply the any mandatory fields, we can apply that. So example, I'm taking the custom class here dot error. Okay, error here. So the color equal to I'm taking red, red. Here I'm taking the mandatory field span equal to error class, mandatory fields. Same for your password also. You can refresh the sign in page. You can see the star mark. Okay, star mark. Even if you want to implement a scripting tag while clicking on here without any empty data, so here empty data, we can validate it. So I'm writing for the one page, you can go for the all the pages same only. Okay, so scripting, how we can write the scripting script. So I'm creating a simple function. So validate data is my function name. So here I'm taking the form name equal to my form, and you can take any form here. So just my form. Okay, and property names and values we can validate it. Okay, so inside the function validate variable, you can take anything here. So I'm taking the name equal to inbuilt object we have, that is document dot what is the form, my form dot property name we have the user dot value. It will read the value where it is contains. Okay, if it is value is not there, then it will give the error. So here I'm checking the data. So another variable also we need password equal to document dot my form dot pwd dot value, same pwd dot value. If name equal to null or empty, name equal to empty, return false. And another one we have to check, that is the password. If pass dot length, so minimum characters we will take it, right? Pass dot length. Okay, less than or equal to, less than 8. So we have to give here is the alert box, enter name, enter username. Here enter valid password. Password. So return. Return false. In false. Okay, done. So length password dot length less than 8. So we have to turn the enter valid password. Minimum length is the 8 characters. So here we have to take on form action, on submit, return. So what is the function name? Validate dt. That's it. Save. For one page I'm writing the scripting and the CSS. You can apply for the same thing for the remaining pages also. So just refresh it. So here I'm clicking sign in. So you can say the enter username. If you use the same in the browser, so here you can say that just click on sign in, enter username. Okay, enter the username here something, and if you click on the sign in dot password, enter valid password, enter the password, then you will get the home page. So less than 8 characters, we don't have the 8 characters there, so that's the reason it is taking. Okay, if you enter the valid data, you will get the valid information. So JavaScript validations and CSS code and the database connections, how we can use it. So in our application we have covered servlets code, JSP code, and SQL code, that is SQL queries, the Tomcat configuration, and CSS how to apply the basic step, JavaScript how to apply. So these are the things, Java code and everything. So I hope everyone got the knowledge how to communicate your front end JSP to servlet, servlet to database, again database to servlet, and JSP communications, how we can dispatch the pages. Okay, the simple MVC application using servlets, JSP, MySQL, and that too we have used the Tomcat server here. Okay, and Eclipse IDE. So it is a project structure. So in web, inside the web app, we have the home pages and login.jsp, register.jsp. Inside the lib, we have added the MySQL connector jar file inside the lib. Okay, inside the lib. So you can see the, so inside the src main Java, we have implemented Java code. Java code. This project structure. src main Java is the Java code. Inside the web app, we have the view pages. Inside the web app view pages. Inside the web INF lib, we have the MySQL connector. It is simple MVC application. I hope everyone got the knowledge how to implement the servlets, JSP, and MySQL application, like simple login and registration operation. If you guys have any questions or any doubts, please comment in comment box. We'll discuss. So I'm asking for the, for supporting purpose, please subscribe